So how are you feeling so far? What's been like the best and worst part of pregnancy?
Oh, well, right now I'm at 21 weeks and I am feeling great. I
Good.
say that because I feel like the first 12 weeks, like people don't joke, the first trimester is very tough. Like
Yes.
you just don't feel like yourself. There's so many things changing. I had a bit of nausea. I was always tired. So I would say like if there's a worst, it was probably just getting through that like, oh my gosh, there's so many new things happening. But the best is just it's been a while since I announced and I told my family, but the best thing for me was sharing, obviously, first with my husband and then my family and my siblings and my friends. That was like the best part of everything.
Oh, I love
It
that.
is the best.
It
Oh.
is.
Now, have you had any unusual cravings?
So, yes and no. I like was expecting a lot more out of myself. I'm like, I'm going to have like these crazy non-food cravings, but I'm craving food, which is good. But I'm not like a super big like salad eater. I mean, if you know me, you know I love carbs on the daily. And ever since being pregnant, I crave like cold, fresh cut salads and fresh fruit. And so it's kind of good. I'm like, hopefully I can take this with me after pregnancy because I probably should be doing that anyway. But it's weird for me, but probably normal for everybody else in the world to eat a lot of salads and veggies and be healthy. But for me, I was like, this is so bizarre. I've never craved this ever.
That's so funny. You're eating healthier now that you're pregnant.
I know. Well, I mean, maybe. I'm also eating all the carbs I used to eat. I'm just adding salad onto that. So
So it's healthy, healthy balance. It's all good.
So funny.
exactly.
You mentioned before about the best part was telling your family and your husband. What was that experience like telling your husband? And, what was that moment like? It had to be so wonderful.
It was amazing. We had been trying for about 4 months. So we were like very ready and like anxious for it to happen. And every month just kind of like, okay, like, is this the time? But yeah, telling him was incredible. I actually found out while I was by myself on Dancing with the Stars tour. I was in a hotel room by myself. And then once I found out, I'm like, I don't want to tell Sam over the phone. I want to be in person. So I waited about 5 days until we actually got to see each other again. So that was I know, it was very tough. So for like 5 whole days, no one in the world knew I was pregnant, just me. And I had to keep it a secret, but it was the best feeling ever. And just such a good moment for us as a married couple because it just really, it's a new phase in our marriage. And we were both so excited, so ready for it. So it was cool that we could finally be like, it's happening.
Oh yeah, that has to be the longest 5 days of your life.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not very good at keeping secrets, especially from my husband. So I'm impressed that it even lasted that long.
Seriously.
I mean, I can't believe you held it in for 5 days. I definitely would be like screaming on the phone.
I know. So many times I was about to be like, I'm pregnant, but I'm like, don't do it. Just hold it together. It'll be worth it when you see him. So
And I'm sure it was totally worth it for
absolutely.
sure. So have you received any pregnancy advice so far?
Yes, like I've received a lot of advice, but it's been funny because a lot of people, for the most part, have been telling me like, the only advice I can give you is just know that like everybody's pregnancy is very different. So don't feel like you have to do what the book says every single time. And like, don't get too stressed out reading everything. Like, take it as it comes because everybody is so different. And what worked for somebody might not work for another. And all babies are different. So that's been kind of the big thing. As far as like someone who's in my profession, Peta Murgatroyd, I'm really, really good friends with her. And she's kind of the first pro on the show who had a baby, was out for a season, came back stronger than ever. And it's just been very cool for me to watch her do that and realize that just because I'm having a baby doesn't mean I'm done with what I love to do. And it's totally doable, totally possible. So she's been a huge inspiration for me with that.
Have you gotten the chance to speak with her?
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
I actually got to talk with her before I like officially posted on Instagram that I was pregnant, and she was so happy for me. Ever since she had her baby, she's just been like, Lindsay, truly when you're ready for it, like it is the biggest and most incredible thing that will ever happen to you. So don't be nervous. Like it's going to be incredible. So it was cool just to have that reassurance from her before when we were like thinking about wanting to have a baby. And then after she's like, if you need anything, let me know. So she's been incredible.
That's great.
Oh, I love that. And what are you most looking forward to do with your baby?
Oh, well, I'm very excited. We're having a girl, which I was very shocked by. I was prepared for like all the boy things, but now I'm like, oh my goodness, we're having a girl. I can do so many fun things. But I think the thing I'm most excited for and like I care the most about is helping her find something that she's passionate about. A lot of people have asked like, so are you going to have her dance? And of course, if she wants to dance, I would love that because I know a lot about it. So
Right.
I'd be able to be pretty helpful in that area. But at the same time, like what I loved about my childhood is I just remember we were always involved in something and it really brought us together as a family. It helped us support each other. And so I just really look forward to helping her find the thing that she loves to do and then being her biggest #1 fan. So that's something that I'm really excited about.
Definitely. I mean, you said that you were convinced that you were going to have a boy. What made you think that?
Well, so my husband's side of the family has pretty much all boys, and every male on the Cusick side has at least 3 boys before they have a girl. So it's just a very like male heavy. So we're just thinking like genetically, we're probably going to have a boy. Like the odds are it's going to be a boy.
Right.
And I don't know why, but from the very beginning of being pregnant, like I thought I had this like mother's intuition. I'm like, it's a boy, but nope, I was way off. I'm like, okay, that's the first sign. I'm not always perfectly correct. So that's a good thing to know. But yeah, we were very shocked and I mean, so excited.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me, Brianna. I don't know if it happened to you, but I was like convinced that I was gonna have a boy. Like up until we were about to reveal, I'm like, it's a boy, it's a boy. Like we're all blue to my gender reveal, and I'm like, yeah, everybody was convinced. And then as soon as like we had a cake, as soon as we cut it, I'm like, oh my god, it's a girl.
I was convinced I was going to have all girls, all boys actually too.
Really?
I was one of 4 boys. So I have 1 boy and 2 girls. So I was convinced I'm going to have like all boys. So when I found out I was having a girl and then another girl, I was like, oh my God, I beat the odds. Like,
I know. I'm like, I just want each of us to have a buddy. Like I have a girl, now I want to have a boy for my husband. And then I'm like, whatever happens after that, I'm
We're okay.
totally. And what kind of like girl dad do you think your husband's going to be?
Oh, he is going to be obsessed with her. And I think he's kind of nervous about that. Like he was really like, he was super like into the whole boy thing. And he's like, I got this. Like, I know I'm going to be able to coach him. And like, I just feel more natural. And I think he's nervous because he knows that like, I mean, it's like that with me. Like he definitely, I get away with a lot because he just loves me and he's like, I just want you to be happy. And I know he's going to feel like that times 10 with our daughter. So I think he's going to be a sucker for our little girl and she is going to have him wrapped around his finger. So I'm probably going to have to lay down the law a little bit with him more than
I was going to ask who's going to be good cop, bad cop, but I guess you already know.
Yeah, I think with the girl, it's definitely going to have to be me. I'm going to have to be like, okay. And then he's just going to be like, whatever you want, sweetie. It's going
right. You said a little bit before about, maybe some things that kind of make you nervous a little bit about being pregnant or your best and worst things. Is there anything that scares you about labor and delivery? Because I know when I first got pregnant, people were like telling me like a million different stories, some good, some bad. But like you said, every pregnancy is different.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, I'm not scared to give birth, but when I think about it for too long, I'm like, that is like, I can't wrap my brain around it. Like, I just can't really fathom how it happens, but I'm like, obviously it does. And millions of women have done it, so it'll be fine. But what I've been shocked by the most about people telling me is that like, I kind of figured the labor was like the most difficult part. But a lot of people tell me that the pain and like the struggle you go through after is sometimes even harder. And so I did hear that like first time breastfeeding, you'll have contractions. And I'm just like, what? Like all of these things, I'm like, I thought you had the baby. And then you're like, sweet, I feel great. I'm learning quickly that that's not how it goes, which is probably good that I was a little bit more warned because I think I was very naive to the fact that I was like, oh, once the baby's out, you're good to go. You feel great again. But no. You guys are both like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna say everyone's different.
Yes.
And even just like having 3 different kids, it was 3 different types of births, 3 different postpartum. So it depends on the person. So it'll be fun.
That's what I keep reminding myself. I'm like, it's okay. You're just gonna take it as it comes and deal with it and get through it because it's possible. So
you'll be fine.
Do you guys have any like baby girl names picked out? And are you starting to decorate yet?
So we are doing the nursery. I'm actually going tomorrow to our interior designer to like kind of lock everything in. So we have that. But our name, we've had a really hard time with names. We had a lot of boy names picked out because we're like, it's the boys. So we had like a full list and we're having a hard time with girl names. But we're also very, like, we're both on the same page that we aren't going to pick a name until we see her. So we kind of have a plan of like going to the hospital with like a list of like 3 or 4 that we love. And then once we see her, hopefully one of those were like matches, but who knows, we might see her and be like, none of these names work. We got to start over again. But that's kind of our thing. So I don't know. Yeah. Everybody's like, are you going to pick the name before? But I just don't think we could. I think with our first, we need to just like see her and just see how it feels. And then we'll go from there.
Definitely. How has being pregnant changed your marriage at all? Has Sam been doting on you like hand and foot?
Yes. It's actually kind of amazing. I'm like, I don't feel great, but I also have an excuse to like ask for a little bit more attention and say, can you grab this for me? Because I don't want to stand up. Like,
Yep.
it's nice because, I mean, also Sam is an incredible husband. So I'm very lucky because he also could just look at me and be like, no. But yeah, he has definitely been doting on me. And emotionally, I'm definitely on a roller coaster every day, and he's done such a great job of handling that and just like helping me process it, because half the time it's so strange. It's like you're emotional, you know, you're being a little bit irrational, but you can't like stop it. It's like uncontrollable. You're like, I know that what I'm feeling is not necessary, but it's just happening, so I'm just gonna continue to feel it until it goes away. But he's been great. I mean, we haven't been together for this long of a time since being married, because normally we're doing long distance. I'm traveling on tour or I'm out in LA. So it's been a really special time for us. We've had more time than we've ever had together. And then also we've just gotten to enjoy the fact that we're creating a human. So it's been very great for us.
Who do you think will be the next Dancing with the Stars pro to have a baby?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like all of us, like this last tour we went on together, all of us girls were pretty much like, we're all ready to have babies, but it was kind of just a timing thing. Everybody's trying to figure it out. But I think as far as like mentality goes, all of the girls are like wanting to be moms, can't wait for it. So it'll be crazy to see. I feel like it might start happening a lot faster than we think, but I don't know. I don't know who would be first, because I feel like everyone equally is kind of ready for that stage in their life. So that's exciting. I'm like, come join me. It's so fun.
You guys are going to bring all the kids on tour with you guys. It's going to be
exactly. I know. I'm like, the tour's going to be a little different with children, but hey.
Totally. Have you been in touch with Artem at all? Because I know he's about to have a baby like any day now too.
Yes. So me and Artem started chatting, and we were like, this is so cool. And I've actually talked to Nikki a little bit as well, just because we both are just like so amazed and just like talk about how cool it is that our bodies are creating humans, and like the changes that are happening are just so beautiful. And it's been so fun to chat with them, especially because Artem has been a friend I've known him almost now for like 9 years. So it's just so cool seeing him become a dad and knowing that his life is about to change in that way. And then being able to chat with Nikki and just like talk about our things and be like, did you feel this? Was this normal? And it's nice to have that support system around you.
Definitely. I mean, your little girl could have a future boyfriend in Nikki and Artem's.
I know. I told Artem, I'm like, dance partners, ballroom partners. There we go. If they both want to dance, you know that you have a partner in us. So
yeah. What kind of dad do you think he's going to be?
Oh, Artem is going to be such a great dad. He is one of the most soft and gentle people, which I think shocks people sometimes, because he's very, like on the show, he's Russian. He has that like sexy kind of stern vibe, but he is one of the softest, sweetest people I've ever met. And I love that about him. I remember on tour, he was always just so caring and kind towards all of us women, which is such a nice thing. So I know he's going to be an incredible dad. He's going to be so caring, loving, and I think that Russian in him, he'll be able to lay down the law when he needs to.
Definitely.
Have you been in touch with Karina at all? Have she given you any advice?
I haven't actually. Today I was talking to my mom. I'm like, I should call Karina and talk to her, because she's got a beautiful baby, and it's so exciting to see that. I love seeing just people that I care about having that happen to them, because it's such an awesome stage in life. And I know she's an incredible mother. So yeah, it's so funny that you said that. I literally just was on the phone with my mom and was like, I need to call Karina. So thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I'm sure she'll have some tips for you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And then once you have a baby and you get your body back after baby, are you ready to go back on the dance floor? Or is that the plan?
Yeah, as of now, I have all intentions of coming back next season. I mean, I honestly see myself being a part of the show for as long as they'll have me. It's just such a huge part of my life. I love it. I'm passionate about it. So that is the plan. Obviously, I know that motherhood is a thing, and I know that that's going to be the most important thing in my life. So I'm going to take everything as it comes, but I have every intention to do that. So, yeah.
Who would be your dream partner?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. I mean, I have a list, so we could go on and on. I feel like based off of dance ability and appearance, I would choose Channing Tatum because he's really
Oh, that's a good one.
A real good one.
and we know he can dance. So I'm like, I feel like he's got both things. Just he'd be great.
Yeah. How have you been staying fit during pregnancy? Have you been dancing at home and things like that, or you and Sam working out together?
So me and my sisters have a YouTube channel, and we started doing these dance challenges because we're like, nobody can really get out and do the things they want to do, and we just miss dancing. So we'd choreograph like a minute-long routine that was kind of cardio-based, and we'd put it on our YouTube channel and be like, join us, and people started to really enjoy it, so we started doing it more and more. So that was huge, and then since then, I have been doing a lot of Pilates just because I feel like it's really helped my body it's helped it stay in shape, but also not push it too hard to where I'm having any issues. So that's kind of been my go-to.
Nice.
Totally. Yeah. Do you keep in touch with any of the former partners that you've had?
Oh, yes. All of them. Literally all of them. Like, I'm very lucky to say that I have such great relationships with all the partners I've had on the show, and every single one of them has either called me, texted me, congratulated me about the pregnancy, and has been so excited. And I think, I mean, for the past like 3 years, I've been very vocal about the fact that I'm so excited to be a mom. So it's been cool because all those partners are like, we know that you've wanted this and like you're so ready for it. And I feel like a lot of them feel like, even though they were older than me, they probably felt like I was kind of like a mom to them on the show because I was just like, get to it, like coach/mom. So they're like, you are so ready for this. And it's been so awesome having that support from them.
Yeah. How many kids have you and Sam talked about having?
Well, that's kind of shifted every once in a while. We both have 4 in our family. So I have 3 siblings. He has 3 siblings. So ever since we got married, we're like 4 seems like the norm. Like that's like what we're used to and seems totally doable. I'm now like, maybe 3 sounds good. But I really don't know. Honestly, my mentality was, if we were having, because I thought we would have at least 3 boys before we got a girl. So I'm like, I'll definitely try for number 4 and see if it's a girl. So I guess now, if we have 2 more girls, I'll try again. See yeah. So that'll be kind of, if we have a boy next, who knows? I might be
right. Yeah. We'll talk to you right after you give birth and see how you feel.
Exactly. I know. I'm like, I'm sure my opinion will change every day with kids.
Oh, yes.